Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be going over my Ultimate Solstice of Heroes 2020 Ultimate Guide, and the word Ultimate is said there twice, because this is everything that I know about the Solstice of Heroes that I have learned over the last few days, playing this event, getting my Titan up to Magnificent set, going for all the glows and all the fancy stuff. This is everything that I know about it. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people who have made videos about this already, talking about the different ways of farming, and a lot of those are definitely very good methods, but in my opinion, those videos were released a little bit premature because they haven't had enough time to develop these ideas and, of course, get the best of the best method. And I did want to mention is that I may not be doing event guides like this in the future. What I've noticed is that these kinds of videos get significantly less views than that of even the weekly reset, and they take significantly more time and effort. So if you want videos like this to continue, make sure you leave a like down below, not only for the cute little kitty that's on screen right now, but because you want to see more in the future. Also, share with your friends. Give them the link to this video. And I know this is kind of annoying, but I do have to say it, is I also have a Patreon. If you like what you see from my channel in general, or these event guides, the spreadsheets, and all that whatnot, please consider checking out my Patreon, because I really do make less than half of minimum wage. I need your help to stay afloat, and the more I get supported, the more I can put time into doing videos like this. And I also have to mention is that I'm also getting a cat soon, so if you want to be able to help me feed this little animal, and you want cute little pictures, make sure you submit to Patreon and include the little note that says this is only for the cat, and I'll get like a giant cat tree with the funds that I get for that. Now that sounds like a terrible idea, but it also sounds pretty funny. There should also be a tier for people where they get exclusive behind the scenes little kitty cat pictures for Patreon. That actually is not a bad idea. And throughout this video, you'll be seeing pictures of a document that I created for you guys that is fully public for you guys to use. All you have to do is head over to my Discord server, linked in the description down below. Go to the channel called #SpreadsheetStock, and around the date that this video came out in, you'll find a link to this document. And the very last thing I wanted to mention, for those of you who didn't skip this section of the video, is I have a giveaway going on right now. I do monthly giveaways from around the middle of the month to the end of the month of an Astro A10 headset, a Blue Yeti microphone, and of course a GG Gamer Subs Gamer Tub. I don't know why it's called a Gamer Tub, I just came up with it. So if you want to win any of these items, check in the description down below for a Gleam link, and of course, enter that giveaway. Moving on to the main section of the video, for those of you who actually skipped to this point in the video, ooh, you missed something. You missed something quite important, just right there. Anyways, the main section, let's talk about the actual guide. First and foremost, this event takes place from August 11th to September 9th. So we have 4 weeks to complete all of the armor objectives, and again, like I said, they are definitely easier and faster than they are last year. So, one of my buddies has already 3 characters, all fully magnificent, actually multiple of my buddies at this point. And he's got nothing to do, and he's halfway through the first week. So you have plenty of time to get everything you need. On top of that, all vanity items can be found at Eververse throughout the event for bright dust outside of the finisher. Up next, for the first major section, I wanted to talk about the armor objectives. Now, I'm not going to go over every single little armor objective. They are pretty straightforward for the most part, but sometimes they can be a little confusing. Sometimes you'll see, for example, on the majestic chest piece for the Titan, you'll see half a kinetic symbol strike playlist kills, and you're like, what the heck does that mean? Now, if you inspect that armor piece, or any armor piece, you'll see a bigger and better description of that. And what that means specifically is you have to be using a subclass that matches the daily burn. The daily burn is listed as one of your buffs in your character menu, so if you ever want to know, it's right there, but it's not always clear, and oftentimes going through these inspection menus, especially on console, takes a long time. So what I have done is I have collected a list and color-coded and underlined everything you're gonna need to know about all of these different things. So you can see on screen now as an example of what I mean. So you know exactly what you need from EAZ, you know exactly what you need with the matching subclass, you know exactly what you need for every different bit and piece. And hopefully this serves to make things simpler and explain some things along the way. And the last thing I'll say about the armor objectives is the very final set. Once you have the Magnificent set and you're working on the glow for the armor, this actually is kind of account based. For every character that has Magnificent armor at that point, these objectives will count for all of them. So I would wait until all 3 characters are at Magnificent and then go for the last set of glows, and that should unlock for every character all at the same time. And the last note I'll say about armor objectives is that there's actually a feature that Bungie implemented to help you complete your extra characters a lot faster. So once you've gotten your first character to Magnificent, you do not need to get the glow, but up to Magnificent, your second character will have double progress for all of his objectives. And of course, once you get that guy to Magnificent, the third character will have triple progress. Now right now, I believe there's a bug for Titans. If you finish the Titan one, you don't get bonus progress for the other ones. but hopefully they fix that by this point. I don't know yet, especially considering my first character was a Titan. Whoop-de-doo! Next up are some miscellaneous information about Key Fragments and Solstice packages. I would say that take this with a grain of salt. A lot of these numbers are from last year, but I have noticed that generally numbers are a lot higher than they have been in the past. But I did want to put this on the list, and I'll try updating it as I know from more information. For these Solstice packages, the big important part from these is that you can get legendary Solstice armor. Once you get the Magnificent set, you can get randomized legendary Solstice armor, so that's how you get more versions of it. You get Umbral engrams, and you get enhancement core. So that's going to be the important part about it, and the rest is pretty straightforward. For the next major section, we have the armor upgrade farming methods. This is going to be the big important part, how I completed things very quickly, what are the best methods to use your time most efficiently, and some things you may not know about. Some extra little tricks like the re-instancing solo trick for public events, not everybody knows about, so you're going to find out a lot of good stuff in it. First and foremost, whenever something says orbs, for the most part, if I'm not mistaken, it means to pick up orbs. So it's not generating orbs, it's picking them up. And event orbs do not spawn in Gambit Prime or competitive Crucible. So when it says Gambit and you have Gambit orbs to get, do regular Gambit, which is annoying because it's slower, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Some objectives say you need to complete Crucible or Gambit. When it comes to speed, Crucible is faster than Gambit Prime, and Gambit Prime is faster than Gambit. But, again, Gambit Prime does not give you those event orbs, so you have to understand what you need and then of course incorporate the speed. Wow, that rhymed. The next note is going to be about synergy. Complete as many things at the same time as possible. In the Titan Majestic set, on the chest piece, you have 600 kills and strike playlists with the matching subclass. On the legs, you also have generate 300 void orbs in the strike playlist. So you want to wait for the void day for Titans to then do both of these at the same time. This thing applies across all of them. Keep in mind all these little bits and pieces. And on top of that, you can also do a lot of the other quests that we've gotten over time. If you have still yet to get the Revoker in Crucible, use sniper rifles with the burn that you need. If you want to get the Wendigo in strikes, make sure you're using a grenade launcher to get certain things completed. You have the ability to do a lot of things at the same time, and if they're forcing us to play these damn things, you might as well get some good credit out of it. For public events, I mentioned this earlier, if you're using the solo instancing trick where you're in a solo fire team by yourself, go to a public event, finish it as fast as possible, and then re-teleport right next to you where you teleported in the first place to re-instance and get a completely different instance. Now you have to do this solo because it does not work with teammates, but you can get the same public event multiple times, which is really, really fast. For the strike elemental orbs, this is generally pretty straightforward. However, I would say as far as the fastest speed for these strike elemental orbs, use lost sectors. If you're on a strike and you just screw off to a lost sector, you can actually get a lot of orbs very quickly on easy enemies, and you can just keep doing this lost sector over and over again while your team is doing whatever in the strike. And on top of that, you can also use Escalation Protocol. You can use the Dreaming City Blinding Well. You can use anything. As long as you are on a strike, then go do whatever you want. You will get credit for this. For the mini-boss, a lot easier than last year, which required 100 mini-boss kills in EAZ. This year, it's 20 boss kills across everything. I did this before anything else, but if you have trouble, the Altars of Sorrows is going to be the best bet. When it comes to patrols, there are certain patrols that are better and faster than others. In the order of speed, it's going to be kill things, wanted star, scan location, go to location. And in general, the Pyramid Collection is the slowest, most annoying, because oftentimes it'll be like, kill Scions for picking up, and it's out of 11. And you're just like, I don't even know where Scions spawn. And there's 2 Scions that spawn every 2 minutes, and you just don't do the pyramid. When it comes to Crucible elemental kills, for example, on the Titan, the first section of armor, you need Void Orbs. If everybody's using Void weapons, you're with a bunch of Titans who also need Void. This is pretty fast, and it does count for their orbs. And of course, on the second set, the Majestic set, you need to get arc kills as a team. So if your teammates have arc weapons, and again, if they're Titans on that step, everybody has arc weapons, you'll do this very quickly. Next up, I wanted to talk about the 3 specific ability kill requirements. First up, for these solar melee kills, so it'd be pretty straightforward. The Devastator subclass, that's going to be the middle tree on the solar subclass with the thrown hammer. You get that hammer over and over and over again, just pick it back up. For the void grenade kills on the Hunter, honestly, play strikes or menagerie during the Grenadier modifier that allow you to use your grenade way more often, and there's an exotic that you can get your grenade back faster, the Orpheus Rig. Most people know that you can get your super back from tethering. Most people don't know is that you can also get your ability energy back, so you can get that ability energy more fastly. More fastly? Yeah, more fast. It's as hot in here, okay? I don't have AC on, I need to do this quickly. For the arc super kills on the Warlock, there is a typo. It says 150 arc super kills against Guardians. This is not true. You can get these against any enemy. So pop over to the Altars of Sorrows, use your tickle fingers on all of the little hive boys that come out, and you get credit. You do not need to do this in the Crucible, because that would obviously be ridiculous. And finally, I wanted to talk about the Magnificent Glow objectives. The 5 major objectives at the very end of the road are considered to be the hard objectives, but if you play the game as much as I do, these are going to be very quick objectives if you know what you're doing. But can be hard if you haven't done them. For the headpiece, it tasks you with completing a Master Nightfall, which is a 1080 activity. The power requirement of this is going to be the biggest gate for a lot of people. So I recommend getting to at least 1070 before attempting it. If you're a good player, you can complete it at 1070 and actually at 1060, but 1070 is much easier. And honestly, if you can get as high as possible, it is much better. At this point, I'd recommend looking up a Nightfall guide for that specific mission. If it's 7th and Song, look up a 7th and Song Grandmaster Nightfall video. Grandmasters and Masters are pretty interchangeable at that particular point. And then finally, look up builds for Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls. I've made multiple build videos in the past, so check out my build playlist. And this is not just a plug for me. Often these are very important. Handle the champions with Ariana's Vow, with Divinity. Very important to have a good loadout. For the arms, it says Nightmare Hunt on any difficulty. Should not be a problem. For the chess piece, we have the Pit of Heresy. Now this is a dungeon that not a lot of people have done, however, it is 950 power, so a lot of people have significant power advantage over this. It should not be that hard. Follow a guide online, and honestly, this is a pretty straightforward and fun mission. For the leg piece, probably the hardest part, win 7 matches of Trials of Osiris. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be the hardest part, even if you're a Crucible King. On average, if you win every other one, you're going to have to play 14 matches of Trials of Osiris, and as a PvE player, that is please kill me territory. A big note here is you do not need to get all 7 wins in a row. It does not have to be on the same card, it just has to be 7 separate wins. And again, since this is part of the glow section, it can be done after the event, so don't worry if you don't finish it before the end. And finally, for the class item, it says defeat 3 final bosses of the Altars of Sorrow. My strategy when it comes to anything Altars of Sorrow is that you want to find an in progress or populated Sorrow's Harbor and just play it. It's really not that hard these days with your current power advantage, being that it's a 950 encounter. And of course, you can also bring a full fire team. If you find 2 other blueberries in the wild also playing, 5 people is plenty to make the win. You can also find an LFG. The PC LFG has a lot of different openings for Altars of Sorrow. And it's currently rumored to complete after 1 final boss kill instead of having to do 3. But either way, 3 is not that bad. Just take some time. In the final section, I just want to talk briefly about Eververse. There are a number of new Eververse items available for the event. You can purchase all of the items from the event section with silver, and again, all of the items will be available for Bright Dust at some point during the event, except for the finisher. The Iron Severance finisher is the only one that will be locked to silver. And the last big note here is that there's going to be a Solstice bundle, depending on your class, that is available for your particular character, available for silver, and available for Bright Dust. Now, 6,000 Bright Dust is pretty steep, considering how slow we get Bright Dust these days. I only have 10,000, and I'm like, I don't want to buy this. It's really expensive. Now, what this thing does is it allows you to have an elemental glow, because once you've upgraded the Magnificent Armor set to glow, it's only going to be a white glow. This is an elemental glow, depending on the subclass you have equipped, will change the color. And honestly, the colors look really good this year. So if you really want it, you can have it. And another thing I will recommend is that Power Rising emote. It literally looks like you're powering up in Dragon Ball Z, and I'm a Dragon Ball Z child, so I probably will end up buying that when it comes around for Bright Dust. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something I missed or something I did that was wrong. Let me know if you just like choo-choo trains. You can also do that if you really feel that way. Also, make sure you check out the live streams that I have on Destiny 2 over at Twitch. Link in the description down below. I do a lot of open lobbies for Destiny 2. Today, I don't believe we'll be playing some Destiny 2, but we do play a lot on that channel, so come check us out. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.